Yo, what up everybody? It's Peace-I. Welcome to another video. So, there is a ban list right around the corner. They said no sooner than December, I believe. I'm recording this on December 2nd. So essentially, I wanted to get this profile out. I was messing around with decks, and I wish I had done this sooner, because some cards in this list will most likely get hit. I tried to incorporate the most powerful cards, especially in the extra deck, all of them into this deck, to utilize them and abuse them. It goes off of the previous notion of Danger Thunder, the essence of Danger Thunder, to spit out your hand. It's beautiful going second with the Danger monsters and the Dino cards, but essentially you utilize all those monsters to go into your broken plays. And all the broken extra deck monsters that we have available to us still, even though the original list is long gone with all of the hits, we're still able to produce boards and break boards very consistently. So here's my 60 card Danger Thunder Dragon Dino list. So it is 60 cards because there are a few bricks, but the only brick that you have to worry about is the Aolo. Everything else you can essentially play with, and even if you draw the Aolo, you just summon off the Buster Lock off of Elpie, and that is your Needle Fiber combo right there. So anyway, so let's start with the Danger Engine. So you play the 1-ubs, the Jackalope, the Tsuchinoko. I'm maxing out on Chupacabra. You want your Dangers to be high impact. So by having a high count, I believe there's 11, you increase the chance of actually being able to resolve all of the Danger's effects. Mothman is very powerful as well, so I run that at 3. The 1 Nessie, 1 Thunderbird, and 1 Bigfoot. I would recommend siding some more copies of Bigfoot and Thunderbird, because going second, they're amazing. You can beat over negates with their very strong attack power, and if they miss, they are technically searchable through Nessie, searchable ways to out either face-up cards or face-down cards, so that's really broken. Alright, so that's all the Dangers. Like I said, 11 in 60. There could probably be a way to cut this down, but then you would risk having worse hands. So, let's get into the Thunder Engine. Triple Vanilla Thunder Dragon. So this increases your hand size. It's great using it with Titan's Pop if you decide to go that route. So it's a great going second card. You can actually resolve this and then Danger for 7 cards in your hand, and that's always a really good feeling. And it's also a Chaos Space target. Then we're running the 3 Thunder Dragon Roar. There's a lot of ways to banish cards. The thing with the pure version of this deck is you've got your Allure of Darknesses and your Gold Sarcophagus, and that's it. But now we play triple Double Evolution Pill, which can banish this from your hand or graveyard even, if you manage to discard it off of a Danger or something like that. And that gets you your special summon, and that gets you directly into your engine, which we mainly use as an extender engine. So this is really good at 3 copies. Then we've got our triple Thunder Dragon Dark. This is something else that you can use for a Titan Pop. It fuels your graveyard, so if you need something in the graveyard, you can easily get it there with Thunder Dragon Dark, and this can search the Fusion, or even Vanilla Thunder Dragon, or whatever you really need at that time. Then we've got the Monster Reborn, the Thunder Dragon Hawk. This needs no explanation. This is also one of your ways that you can get around bricks. So if you have the opportunity to use Thunder Dragon Roar's effect, you can actually special summon Thunder Dragon Hawk and easily link climb into something else, put your bricks back, and continue with your combo. This deck, it's difficult for this deck to not at least end on Dragoon, let alone other negates and interaction. And because of all of those different engines and the way that you can climb through different link monsters, this is actually really good at playing through hand traps. Now, I do run a 2 Thunder Dragon Matrix, and you're probably thinking, why? This isn't pure. It's just another target that when it's banished or sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to search itself, which is very important. A lot of the times in testing, you'll use your entire Thunder engine, except for Matrix, before going into your Trishula Fusion. so you don't have anything of value to banish. So you banish the Matrix from your deck, along with a card from your opponent's extra deck and the top card of their main deck, in order to search your other Thunder Dragon Matrix and have a discard fodder for Dragoon. Or if you couldn't make Dragoon, you would go the Titan route, and gives you a Titan pop. So that's why I play 2 of that. It's 60 cards. You're probably not going to draw it. But if you do, it's not even that bad. And then finally, the 1 Thunder Dragon Fusion. There's not room for more than 1 Titan in the extra deck. So you're just playing the 1 Fusion. And this card's broken. You guys know it searches. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be watching this video if you don't know how broken the Thunder cards are. It's a shame that Colossus is banned, so we can't abuse the Diabolos engine and all that jazz and make Hope Harbinger and rip cards from our opponent's hand. But this is still a very powerful engine to use as an extender, especially with synergistic with the banishing effects that we have in this deck. So, I mean, if you want to beat this deck, just to activate Lancia and we're screwed. All right, so next we're going to take a look at the Dragon engine. I consider Chaos Space a Dragon card in this deck because you only have a handful of targets. You've got your Levianeer, your Wyver Burster, and your Black Dragon Collapse Serpent as your main targets. Too bad we can't search Conductor with this because it happens to be a level... shoot, what's it called? A level 10, so... But also for the Dragon engine, we've got Omni Dragon Brotar, and then finally Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. You're not always going to go for the Buster Lock. Sometimes you do need, in certain hands, you do need to use the Destruction Sword to get into your Needle combo and give you a Herald. Although, if you know your opponent is stuck on an extra deck, you can just sometimes end on Union Carrier along with a... Thunder Dragon Roar in attack position with the Dragon Buster Sword on it, and that's sometimes enough for you to win. But this is really great. You get to abuse Guard Dragon Pisty and Guard Dragon Elpie, and this engine's super strong. It kind of ties everything together, having the banish effect, and then Chaos Space just draws you a free card. It's insane. Next is the Dinosaur engine. So we've got our triple fossil dig to search our main babies, which are Soul-Eating Oviraptor and Miscellaneousaurus. So if you hard draw 2 ways to get to these cards, then you can actually use Soul-Eating Oviraptor to dump a Coatless, or if you have enough resources, search a Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. Which you can get out with Double Evolution Pill, which you're running 3 copies of, since you want to be able to banish your Thunder monsters off of this. So essentially, a lot of these combos essentially turn 2 cards into 3 disruptions, or 3 baits for disruptions for your opponent. And then finally, for the Dinosaur package, we've got the Drac Aeolo. Like I said, it kind of stinks to draw this. But, I mean, worst case scenario, you normal summon, you use an extender, go into Needle, bait the first hand trap, you can go into Link Cross after that, do shenanigans. There's just so many different combos in this deck. I think I will do a test hand at the end of this. And then finally, the Plague Spreader Zombie. This is what you are most likely specialing off of Needle Fiber. I'll show you some combos with that. Alright, so I believe that's all the effect monsters in the deck. So next up, let's just cover the rest of the spells. Triple Allure of Darkness. Because of this card, I want to reduce the deck closer to 40, but unfortunately, to fit everything the way that I want it to fit, I do have to play 60. Foolish Burial, generic, you just send anything. It can unbrick your hand. It's so amazing. Monster Reborn as an extender, and Gold Sarcophagus as an extender. And then finally, we have our Dragoon package, the Red Eyes Fusion, and the Dark Magician and Red Eyes Black Dragon. So, for the extra deck, we've got the Fusion monsters. We've got Red Eyes Dark Dragoon, which is nice. He's usually on your ending board, and having this in your deck means that going second, any 2 monsters on your board when you've played through all of your opponent's negations, becomes an enormous threat. Because you can just plop this on the field, pop 2 things, do a bunch of damage, and then you still get to attack. This card is absolutely insane, and it's not going to get banned or limited anytime soon. That's a guarantee. Then we've got the Trishula Fusion. I love being able to play this card again. The main way to get rid of your guard dragons is to banish them for the Trishula Fusion summon. So you get its secondary effect, which can rip Super Poly target out of your opponent's extra deck. Although no one's playing Super Poly anymore because of the Buster Dragon lock. But we'll see after this format if this deck survives. That would be pretty cool. But this just further speeds up your engine. And then finally, Thunder Dragon Titan, you guys know what he does. He can protect himself. He can actually attempt to pop himself and then protect, which banishes 2 cards from your graveyard for you if you need to do that. So that's pretty cool. All right, next is the Synchros, just Martial Metal Marcher and Herald of the Arclight. You guys are super familiar with this if you've been playing with the meta. This is essentially the smallest little Synchro package that you can have, and it's super broken. It's a free negate, and then the effect of Herald of the Arclight kind of screws over a lot of meta strategies because any monster sent from the hand or the deck towards the graveyard will be banished instead. So some things that you need to do for cost, you can't even attempt to do that. Like droplets, you can't even use droplets with a monster when this is on board, which is really nice. All right, then the Link monsters. We got the broken Link Cross. Striker Dragon is only there to use so that we have our Brotar in the graveyard instead of being banished off the Trishula Fusion. And you'll probably see that in the combo. Also, it makes Chaos Space a little bit better. If you don't have an extender, you can actually use the Chaos Space to grab your, most likely the White Dragon, and then you can use that to search the Black Dragon by going into Striker and not having to waste Pisty and Elpie. But you could probably cut this for something that you see fit, like a Nightmare or something. Then we've got the Guard Dragons, Pisty and Elpie. And then I decided to go with the Protector Whelp of Destruction over the Tenyi Link 3. Because there are certain situations where you do need that 3rd dragon, like when you are making use of the Buster Dragon in your main deck to go into the Needle Fiber combo after you make your Apollosa. So this is important to have an extra dragon, although you could play the Tenyi Link in place of this. And that's all made possible by Reproducus. So then we've got our Predaplant Verte Anaconda. This can either summon Titan, but most of the time you're summoning Dragoon. And then Reproducus. So even if you hard draw your double evolution pill and you don't have access to a Dino, there are so many ways to bring out Reproducus. So you can always at least end on a Conductor or an Overtext Coatless. And with the printing of Link Cross, if you summon Reproducus, you can just go into Link Cross, so Reproducus will be in the graveyard for your activation of your double evolution pill, which can actually turn on your hand in other ways, because if you banish one of your 6 of main Thunder cards, or even we can consider 8, because Thunder Dragonhawk can reset your hand if you bricked. So there's 8 good cards in your deck that you can banish off of double evolution pill, a 3 of, which is also searchable if you normal summon Oviraptor. But most of the time you're going to try and go for the Needle combo. There's just so many lines of play that this deck is insane. Next up, we've got Union Carrier, another amazingly broken card. This can get you the Buster Lock. This can get you into your Thunder Engine. It's just stupid. We got Needle Fiber. This card's insane. Any tuner from your deck. People are upset about the power of this card and the way that it can start different combos. And some people are actually calling for it to get hit. I don't think that this is going to be one of the targets, but it could well be. But very powerful card. So many different lines of play that you can do with it. And then finally, Apollosa, Bow of the Goddess. So that's the main deck. For the side deck, this is kind of weak to like back row and stuff, so I would suggest some type of back row removal or Twin Twisters. But for going second, I do think that you should be able to cut some of the extra deck monsters for Nightmare Unicorn or Nightmare Phoenix. And then also I would suggest playing a small Shadal package in the side in case you're going second. This can get you Winda and Conductor, and that can clear your opponent's field, and then make it so that they have to out your Conductor and Winda next turn with just one special summon, which is really strong. Also, you need to have searchable ways to out Dragoon and stuff in games 2 and 3. So I would suggest putting in Kaijus, even going first. They're really good because if they break your board and they don't kill you, getting into a grind game, this actually happened to me when I was playing this deck the other day. If I had just had a Kaiju in my main deck, I could have used one of the many Oviraptors that I went into as I was trying to draw for an out, and then been able to just Kaiju my opponent's Dragoon, which I had no other way to out. In the end, I just lost that game because... or wait, was it a BLS? It was a BLS Link. It was the BLS Link 3. I couldn't out it. That sucked. But anyway, yeah, Kaiju's... the Dinosaur Kaiju, definitely great because you could search it off of Oviraptor. It makes Oviraptor that much stronger. It makes it so that your opponent has to negate Oviraptor. And if you've got that Miscellaneousaurus, then there you go. Alright, so Danger, Bigfoot... like I said, some of the other dangers are really good going second cards. This pops face up, this pops face down, really nice. Then some of the Shadals, I chose Beast, Dragon, and Falco. Beast just draws you a card, and it's huge. It's got a great flip effect if you ever happen to tribute for it, which you won't. Shadal Dragon, this flip effect is amazing, and it's a 1900 body. This bounces an opponent's card to hand. It does target, which kind of stinks, but its main effect is when it's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, you get to pop a spell and trap on the field, including your own, which is really nice. Wait, right? Yeah. Yeah, on the field, yeah. And then finally, Shadal Falco. This is another level 2 tuner that I was dabbling with. You can special summon this off of Needle Fiber, and then if you know that they hard lose to Winda, you can actually send Shadal Fusion and fuse the Falco on your field after your Synchro combo with any other dark monster on your field, and that essentially gets you Winda with Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda. So Shadal Falco being a tuner allows you to do the full combo that ends on Herald, Link Cross, and Falco, plus any other extenders that you have, in addition to allowing you to use Predaplant, Verte, Anaconda to send one of your 3 Shadal Fusions to just fuse that away. And if you hard draw this going second, it will definitely beta negate because, like I said, Shadal Dragon going to the graveyard can pop a card. Beast can draw you a card. You get your Winda on the field, and then you also get your Cultist to be dumped, which gives you more banishing power and a Conductor. So that's what I was dabbling with for the side. Like I said, you should also have some type of spell and trap removal because this deck doesn't like back row decks because it's a really heavy combo deck, just like before. But yeah, we can play through Nib and stuff. So I'm going to do a quick power shuffle for you guys, and then show you maybe 1 or 2 test hands. But you guys know Murphy's Law. Something that will go wrong, or can go wrong, will go wrong. So I will brick a couple of times, and then you guys will never play this deck, and then it'll just get completely banned. So it doesn't matter. Nothing matters in life. If you've gotten this far into the video, show me some love. Comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, and then like it if you thought that this was cool. I have a lot of deck ideas, and unfortunately I waited a little bit long for this one. I've had this deck for a couple of days now, yeah, the ban list is right around the corner. I wanted to just get this out there. And I'm going to innovate this deck again, unless they just like ban LP, Link Cross, and the Buster Lock. But other than that, we'll do something. All right, so let's see the hand. We got Chaos Space, White, Fossil Dig, Allure of Darkness, and Thunder Dragon Matrix. All right, so we don't have any darks to use Allure of Darkness, and we're going to assume that we're not playing through hand traps currently. So the safest bet would be to go through with the Fossil Dig to search. Since we already have the White Dragon Wyver Burster, if you are afraid of Droll, this will at least get you access to your Dinosaur engine, although you can't add anymore, so that kind of sucks. But that'll get you your Soul Eating Oviraptor. We didn't have a normal summon otherwise in this hand because we don't really want to normal summon Thunder Dragon Matrix. Now, when you draw Chaos Space and one of the baby dragons, what you can actually do is use it and then dump that card, and then once it's added to the bottom of your deck, you can special summon it again once it's added to your hand. But what we're going to do is we're going to start off with normal summoning Soul Eating Oviraptor and activating the effect. So, just in case they have a Nibiru later on, you're going to add Miscellaneousaurus. Then you're going to activate it so that any dinosaurs left on your field will be protected from Nibiru. We're going to activate Miscellaneousaurus' effect in order to get our Jirac Aeolo from our deck, which will allow us to do Needle Combo. So, since we are going the Needle Combo route that ends on Herald before we continue with the combo, we're going to need to use our Chaos Space before that happens, since we're not allowed to use Chaos Space once Heralds hit the field. So we are going to go ahead and Chaos Space, getting rid of the White Dragon Wyverburster to search out the Black Dragon. So that's kind of an unfortunate route that we have to take. We're not plussing off of the Thunder engine, but at least we have plays. All right, it was at the top of the deck, of course. Oh, jeez. All right, so right now we've got 2 summons so far, and we've already used our Chaos Space, so we are fine with that. I'm going to go directly into Needle Combo now. So, I'm going to link off those 2 into Helki Fibrax. That is going to bring out our Plague Spreader Zombie. And with that, we're going to just jump straight into Link Cross, set up our negates as early as possible. So, as you see here, even if we get nibbed at this point, it does not matter, since Plague Spreader Zombie is an extender, and then our Black Dragon Collapse Serpent is also an extender that we can use to make the Dragoon. So we get Link Cross, we get our 2 tokens. We're going to Synchro with Plague Spreader Zombie and one of the tokens to bring out Martial Metal Marcher, which will bring back our Jirac Aeolo. Sometimes if you don't have access to the other tuner, you'll just have to bring back Plague Spreader Zombie, but it really doesn't matter. I just want to have Plague Spreader Zombie in the deck, or in the graveyard, so that I have the opportunity to bring it back if I need it. At this point, we're just going to link our Synchro straight into Herald with the last token. So now we've got our first negate. So the rest of our plays are protected, unless your opponent has Impermanence and what's that card called? Imperm and Nibiru. That would stink. But we're going to go ahead and special summon our Collapse Serpent by banishing our White Dragon Wyverburster. And then we're going to use Chaos Space to go ahead and put the Wyverburster on the bottom of our deck and then draw a free card. So I'm shuffled up, put that on the bottom, and then draw a card. We end up drawing Monster Reborn. That's kind of not fair, but whatever. We're going to go ahead and link this off for our Guard Dragon Elpie. So, now, this is why we play the Protector Whelp. You can link this, or, oh, wait, I almost forgot to search with Black Dragon Collapse Serpent for our White Dragon Wyverburster. Very important, don't forget that. So now we can link these 2 off into our Protector, Protector Whelp of the Destruction Swordsman. Now we're going to activate and then special summon Guard Dragon Elpie from our deck. We're going to summon Brotar from our deck. Jeez. Alright. At this point, we're going to use its effect targeting Elpie to avoid Ghost Ogre, but they can't even activate it because we have Herald. We're going to banish the Thunder Dragon Matrix from our hand, since we any monster sent from the field or from the hand or the deck to the graveyard is banished instead. That'll search us out our Chaos Dragon Levianeer. And then the Thunder Dragon Matrix will trigger, searching us another copy of Thunder Dragon Matrix, keeping our hand advantage very good. So as you can see, we've got all these monsters here, and we are still going. It's kind of nice. With a 5-card hand still. Insane. Alright, we're going to link this off for Guard Dragon Pisty. Now, Pisty can bring back from Banished or Grave. So let's take a look at our graveyard. We've got Omni Dragon Brotar, we've got Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, we've got Oviraptor, and Plague Spreader. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to summon Chaos Dragon Levianeer by banishing the Brotar, the Black Dragon Collapse Serpent, and the Soul Eating Oviraptor. This will rip a card from our opponent's hand, which is a nice little bonus. Then we get to use Guard Dragon LP's effect Pisty's effect to special summon that Brotar from our banished zone. So that was like a free banish. Now, this is why we play the Striker Dragon and nothing else, for no other reason. Just to be able to special summon it, and then we can now banish these 3 to special summon our Trishula Fusion. Alright, so, on summon, it's going to banish, you get to see your opponent's extra deck and banish a card from it. Insane. Then you banish the top card of their deck, and then you also banish 1 card from your main deck. Now, why am I not running the Giant Rex and the Lagia and Dolka in my extra deck? There's just no room, and in testing, I was originally playing Giant Rex, and there's just never an opportunity for you to summon it where it's good. You don't need level 4s. So anyway, with Trish's effect, we're going to banish the Thunder Dragon Roar. So see how before we didn't have access to our Thunder Engine? Usually you do, but this time we did not. We still have access to it by going into our Guard Dragons. And because of the existence of Reproducus and the ability to go into the Protector Whelp, we always have access to our Dragon Engine, even if we don't draw any Chaos Spaces or any of the Dragons. So we always have access to our Dragons. So we always have access to our Thunders. It's very great at even playing through negations, because there are so many different choke points that all the regular decks have that this deck just doesn't have. So we're going to special summon our Thunder Dragon Dark, and once we link that off, it's also going to search. So we've got an extender in hand, which we can use to make another material. So at this point, I would try and make more negates. I want an Apollosa. So we're going to use those 3 to go into a 3-material Apollosa. Now Thunder Dragon Dark will search our deck. So, looking at our hand, we have Monster Reborn and no other way to extend. So, I think we're going to want 1 more extender, since we can still use Plague Spreader Zombie to what's it called? Make it so that we actually have 4 monsters left for Union Carrier and for the Predaplant Verte Anaconda. So I'm going to search Thunder Dragon Hawk. Now I can use that Hawk. It will be banished because we have Herald on the field, but it does say discard, so we still have the ability to do that. And then special summon our Thunder Dragon Roar from our banished pile. So, now we want to have another monster on field. We're going to get rid of this Allure of Darkness. It's not really doing anything for us right now. And we don't have any darks in hand, so that we can bring